Hey, what's going on, hustlers? How are you? Good morning. Good morning. It is Wednesday, and I did a video yesterday on my Facebook page, on my personal page, and I kind of broke down some really important data for um, the cost of advertising as it pertains to real estate. But obviously, this is an insurance group, so I want to share with you guys the same data and break that down for insurance agents and really kind of help give you some insight about social media, about the cost, specifically the cost of advertising on Facebook. You know, a lot of times when we talk to agents, one of the first questions that we get is, well, how much should I spend? How much money should I invest on Facebook ads in order to get good results? What kind of results do you guys get? And, you know, what makes you guys different from other people, things like that. And so, you know, we've been doing this since since late 2013, Q4 2013, 2014. Been at this for a long time. And I know immediately when we started running Facebook campaigns and generating leads that we were in the golden years back in 2012, 2013, 2014. There was hardly anybody running Facebook campaigns for the insurance industry, and there was nobody doing it successfully, not even close to the extent that we were. And so I knew that it wouldn't last forever. And I told people, you need to make sure that you invest as much money as you possibly can, because this will not last forever. It is not sustainable, and it's not realistic to think that we will get leads the way that we have been for the end of time. So suck as many leads out of the market as you can possibly afford, whatever that looks like. I would much rather see folks have a problem with how do I handle all of these leads versus the majority of the people's problem when they come to us is I don't have enough leads. Right. So it's a much better problem to have of I've got too many leads, don't know how to work them all, versus I don't have enough leads and I'm not making enough money. Right. And so over the years, the cost has continued to rise, continued to rise, continued to rise. And it has become increasingly more difficult and more expensive to generate leads on Facebook, particularly for the insurance industry. In fact, the insurance industry is one of the most expensive industries now to generate leads and get any kind of good results out of Facebook. And so a lot of times agents will come to me and have had a bad experience with Facebook ads or gone through a program of sorts. It didn't quite work out. You know, hired somebody who said they were going to get them leads and it didn't work out. And they've got a bad taste in their mouth about the quality of Facebook leads or the validity of Facebook platform being a real place to invest any sort of marketing dollars. And I want to tell you that I wholeheartedly believe that it is the best place to generate leads. You have more insight about consumers using the Facebook platform than any other platform available to you. The problem is there's just not very many true experts that know enough about Facebook and understand the data behind running Facebook campaigns successfully and how to get an ROI, that agents will go around spending hundreds and sometimes thousands of dollars before they ever get a viable lead, and ultimately will quit and say this doesn't work and go back to doing what they're doing. I'm going to suggest to you that if you are not using Facebook in some form or some capacity to generate leads by the end of 2020, I think you're going to struggle. Especially if you're in your first couple of years of business. If you are brand new to the industry, you have less than 2 years in, and by the end of 2020, you're not generating leads on Facebook, or have somebody doing it for you, that you're not going to be able to keep pace. You know, when you look at the industry as a whole, you've got these app-based companies with very little overhead that people can go on now. They can download an app, they can purchase a policy without ever talking to a human being. Whether those are going to be sustainable or not, we don't know. But there's been 6 in the last 12 months, 6 app-based companies. You've got folks like Lemonade and similar type of companies that are popping up. Whether or not that's a sustainable model, time will tell. But I think it's going to be either wildly profitable or their algorithms are going to be bad and it's not going to work out and they're going to collapse. But in the meantime, while that's going on, they're sucking an enormous amount of people out of the marketplace, making it more difficult for the agency model to survive. Companies are getting more aggressive with their growth. They're the growth expectations and what they're wanting agents to produce. Meanwhile, rates are going up. It's getting more competitive. There's more companies entering the marketplace. And then you've got a big shift in consumers and how they respond to advertising. You've got social media really shaking things up. You've got consumers, being hit with tens of millions of dollars from companies every single year of marketing. All kinds of confusion among where the best place to go is. And so it's really created a really interesting time for the insurance industry as a whole. But I think that for the average agent, for the average agency model, whether you're captive or independent, for you to be able to really keep pace, you have to be able to get leads from the internet. You just have to. 86% of consumers start shopping for insurance on the internet, whether that's Facebook, whether that's Google, whether that's whatever. 86% are starting that shopping experience online. And we've got some data from Facebook that suggests that once an individual fills out a lead form or responds to a Facebook ad for insurance, within one day, 30% of those people purchase. All right, within a week, 60% purchase. Within 2 weeks, 84% of the people who started online purchase online. Now, whether they purchase from the person who ran that initial ad, we don't know that data, but we do know that from the moment that they click on an insurance ad, they spend the next 18 minutes online looking around at insurance and doing some additional research. And then 30% of them within 24 hours are purchasing a policy. And the reason that that's important is because you have to understand that the thousands of agents that are out there generating leads on social media. So if the sales process is that quick, if 84% are purchasing with 2 weeks, you got to understand how many tens of thousands of leads are being generated every single month on Facebook. And the reason I think that it's problematic if you are not on Facebook, that those who are, our clients are continuing, we're explaining this data to them, they're seeing the writing on the wall, they're spending more and more money, which means they're getting more and more leads out of the marketplace, which means you've got more and more shoppers coming that weren't shopping before. You've got people staying at companies for shorter amounts of time. And when you put all these variables together, it creates a very difficult storm to be profitable and successful in the absence of being able to generate cost-effective leads. And Facebook is the most cost-effective lead that you can get, where it's actually truly exclusive, real-time, legitimately somebody interested in insurance. Now, of course, you can buy leads anywhere. You can buy data leads. You can go and spend 50 cents for a fucking name and email and phone number or whatever, and that's fantastic. I don't personally call that a lead. I call that a number you might as well call out of the phone book. That model is not sustainable, all right? I'm talking about being able to generate a true lead of somebody who says, I see an insurance ad, I want a quote. And the best place to do that right now is Facebook. However, it's getting really, really expensive to do if you don't know how to do it. Even for those of us who are experts, it's 2 times, 3 times the cost today that it was just a year and a half ago. So for us to be able to get our costs down and keep them where they were a year or two ago, we have to do an enormous amount of work. The amount of labor that we're putting into our ad campaigns in order to keep our costs down and to keep ads successful is we're spending at least 2 to 3 times as much energy and man hours maintaining ad campaigns to keep them successful, because 2 years ago, anybody could slap up an ad, drop a link, you could have a shitty landing page, and because it was so inexpensive, you could get leads. Law of numbers just says, hey, you've got an ad going, it's costing you a penny per view, no big deal. It doesn't have to be perfect, you're still gonna get leads. Today, it's not that way, and I'm gonna show you why. So we're looking at an industry report, and if you guys want the link, just comment here and I'll give you the link. I'm gonna look here. So let me see if I can share my screen and show you guys this. There's a let's see. All right, it's not gonna let me share my screen, but I'll give you guys the report that I'm looking at. But these are 2018 numbers. And I'm going to put it here I'm going to copy and paste and put it here in the chat bar. But for the finance and insurance industry, you've got the average cost per click at $3.77. $3.77. All right. So I'm going to put this here in the chat. So the CPC, that's your cost per click. So every time somebody clicks on an ad, industry average, it's costing $3.77. All right. Now, if you go look at Google, if you've ever done Google AdWords, or you know anybody that knows how to go do Google AdWords, the cost for clicks at Google are somewhere between $10 and $12 a click. $10 to $12 for one click, right? So that's why it's so incredibly expensive to generate leads using Google, unless you understand how to do that using custom audiences. Now, the average click-through rate is 0.0056 or 5%, right? And the click-through rate is the percentage of, it's the percentage of people that click through from the ad to your landing page, or if you're using a Facebook lead form, to the Facebook lead form. All right, so I put that there in the comments, this data here that I'm talking about. So the CPC is the cost per click. All right, so here, the way that a funnel looks or an ad looks, you generate it, you run an ad, it goes on Facebook or Google or wherever it's running, and somebody will see it and they'll click the ad. They'll say, let me see that. It's on the right side. Click that. Let me read this ad. They'll click it. That's a click. $3.77, all right? And then your click-through rate says, hey, from here, we need to get them to our website, or get them to our quote calculator, or get them to, our appointment setting schedule, or get them wherever you're going, landing page, website, whatever, to get them to click through from the ad. The click-through rate, that conversion rate is 5%. All right, so that means industry average that it's going to take 20 clicks, 20 ad clicks to get one person to your website. All right, and so these numbers are important because you have to understand how much should it cost to get a Facebook lead, right? How much, and you have to know these numbers. If you're going to ask somebody to run ads for you, you need to know this data, because this is why people are getting screwed. This is why agents are getting taken to the fucking cleaners by marketing agencies, because half of them don't even know this data themselves. You could ask them what the click-through rate is for their average campaign. They have no idea. They don't even know what that means, right? But this is where the expectations are misguided for a lot of agents, because they have no idea what the expectations should be. But here's the industry average, all right? And our formula is much more aggressive. I'm actually going to show you our formula of what this looks like for our campaigns. We have a much more aggressive standard for our ads than 5%. So they have a 3.77 click-through, 0.005% click-through rate, and then the conversion rate is 9%. So 20 clicks gets one person to the landing page, and then they got 9% conversion rate from the landing page, which is decent. 10 people have to get to the landing page to get one lead. That's good. I mean, we look for 5 to 10% of our landing page traffic to convert as well. So if we're converting at 5 to 10%, we're okay with that. Where the big difference is between us and the industry standard is our click-through rates and our ad click to site click conversion. So what we look at is we want to get somewhere between 20 and 30% of people who click on our ad to go to the site, right? Because that's ultimately where the expense lies, is the lack of people getting to your site. If it takes you 20 clicks to get one person at $3.77, that's $74 to get one person to your landing page. If you got to get 10 people to your landing page, that's $745. Clearly not sustainable, right? So what ends up happening, and you're thinking, oh, it's not $700 to generate a lead. You're right, it's not. However, when you look at everybody running insurance ads, this is the scenario that typically happens. Agent will boost a post. They'll spend $20 here or there. Doesn't work. Okay, agent goes into try as a different post, boost a post, 20, 30 bucks, nothing happens. Let me try this messenger. Let me try to do a messenger ad. All right, so 20 bucks boost post, nothing happens. Right now at this rate, $20 here, $20 there, $20 there, we're at 60 bucks. Okay, let's try to get into Ads Manager and run an ad. All right, let's run an ad. We'll run it at 10 bucks a day. Run it for 3 days, 30 days, nothing happens. Damn it, all right? We're almost $100 in. Then we say, okay, let me go to join this mastermind and try it. Join this mastermind, another $100, nothing happens. After $200-300 that an agent has spent and not gotten a lead, they say, this doesn't work. I'm going to go back to doing what I was doing. And so you end up having thousands upon thousands of agents spending hundreds of dollars, never getting a result. This might be you. If this is you, you can probably say, yeah, that sounds like me, right? You got thousands of agents spending hundreds of dollars and never getting a lead, right? And so that skews the numbers, but that's really what's happening. And you've got a lot of marketing agencies who are doing the same thing. And what it boils down to is lack of targeting, right? So the click-through rate and that ad click to site click rate, how do we get more people to click from the ad to the landing page? That comes down to targeting. And one of the things that I have taught and what we focus most of our efforts on when we create an ad is detailed customer creation. We have a perfect customer creation process that we go through, and we want to know in depth who that perfect customer is, right? Because for every policy that you write, there is a perfect customer. If we're talking about life insurance, you've got a perfect customer. Your underwriter has a perfect customer that they're looking for. Generally speaking, most of you that are captive agents, we know that you're looking for a college educated homeowner, has kids, some money in the bank, risk adverse, couple cars, good job, good credit, right? We know that's what we need to be competitive, all right? But within that, we got this bubble here. Within that, we know that, okay, a term life customer is going to have some additional filters, right? And so we start looking at triggers. What causes somebody to need to talk to an agent about term life insurance, right? Well, what kind of term? Are we talking about return of premium, 20-year, 30-year? There's different life events, different triggers that happen, right? So then we drill down and we say, okay, specifically within these people for term life insurance, what's going on with your perfect customer, right? And then we start laying in these filters. We start laying in, where does this person work? What type of industry are they in? They've got kids. How many kids? How old are the kids, right? What type of life events are happening? Are they getting married? Are they getting divorced? Are they buying a house? Are they buying a car? All of these things, you go in and create this perfect customer. Where most people miss the mark, where most agencies miss the mark, where most advertising experts miss the mark, is they have no idea how to do this. They don't know what the relevant terms, they don't know what the relevant filtering is. And they end up having this massive ad set. And they say, if you go and reverse engineer any ad on Facebook in the insurance world, any of your companies that are running ads, what you're going to find is something very broad, something like 25 to 49, Texas, right? Male, maybe married. And with that, you've got, millions of people. And what ends up happening is you've got thousands upon thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands, depending on the ad set, who you're paying to see the ad. You're paying per impression, but they have no business seeing the ad, right? Within that college educated, married, homeowner, kids, cars, job, whatever. If you're showing that person a final expense ad and they're 30 years old, they have no business seeing it, right? And then that's where you end up wasting money. So to give you an example, our numbers, and I wish I could screen share. I'll send you a screenshot on the thread here. But just looking at one of our campaigns that I pulled up, our average click is 37 cents. 37 cents per click. This is our average cost per click. So you can see where the industry average is $3.77. Our average cost per click is 37 cents. All right. This is for a campaign in Oklahoma that we're working. Now, it's always going to vary from market to market, but I could look at the whole country in the last year, and we'd probably be somewhere maybe around 86 cents, maybe $1. But I just pulled up this one ad to take a look at it. I can get the whole, whoops, sorry about that. I'm going to retype this in. So our numbers are as follows. We've got our CPC is 37 cents for this example, 37 cents. All right. Our average click-through rate is 6.49%. 6.49%. All right. And here's where it gets good. Our conversion rates, our ad click to site click conversion rates on average are 39%. We look for our benchmark as we're managing our ads. We look at these and we say we want a minimum of 3% click-through rate And we want a minimum of 20 to 30% of our ad clicks to go to site clicks, right? From those that click on the ad, we need 20 to 30% of that traffic. So whereas they're getting one person for every 20, out of that same 20, we're getting five people, right, to get to our landing page. So we got a fraction of the cost per click, and then we've got, 3 times, 4 times as many people clicking going to the site. The reason being is because we have such detailed targeting. We're putting the right message in front of the right people at the right time. So we've got 39% ad click to site click. And then from those that hit our landing page, our benchmark, what we shoot for is between 5 and 10%. But we're currently running at site click to lead conversion is 17%. So 17% of people that hit our landing pages are converting. All right, I put those there in the comments. So here's the deal. Let's look at some actual numbers here. All right, so from those numbers that I gave you, we've got a campaign currently running at 6.4% at 37 cents. All right, so total we've had 333 clicks, right, on this campaign. 333 clicks at 37 cents. Of those ad clicks, we've had 133 of those people clicked on the site, right? So you take 133 divided by the 333, 39%, right? And then out of those 133 people that hit the landing page, we've had 23 people fill out forms and request quotes, right? So 133, 23 divided by 133, that's 17, a little over 17%. And that brings us to an average cost per lead of $5.41. All right. Now, like I said, the big key here is that cost per click. The things that we cannot control as marketers, we can't control the cost per thousand, the CPM. That's a driving force. That's Facebook saying, for every 1,000 people that see this ad, just an impression, doesn't matter if they click it, doesn't matter if they like it, comment, share, or if they just pass it by. There is a cost per 1,000. Facebook average cost per 1,000 right now is about $30 per 1,000. All right. So if you have for us, what we want is at 1,000 people, we want to get at least 2 forms, at least 2 households filled out per impressions. So that means it's absolutely critical that those 1,000 people, if you're spending $30 for every 1,000 people to see it, it better be the right 1,000. Because if you've missed the targeting and you're just saying 25 to 49 in the state of Texas married, that's millions of people going to see it. Think about how many people are going to see that have no business seeing it, and you're going to be paying for that. You're going to be paying for all those impressions. So the number of impressions is people will send you these reports saying, oh, we got 5,000 impressions. I would be pissed. It better be the right 5,000 because I know it's $30 per 1,000. So the impressions mean nothing. The clicks mean nothing. What matters are the conversion rates and the actual cost per lead. And are we driving that cost per 1,000 down by having the right targeting? Are we getting the conversions that we need in order to drive the cost down? The reason that our cost per click is so low is because when we show an ad to an audience, it's very, very targeted and it's the right people. Like I said, we've taken down what your underwriters want, and then we've even drilled that down further to things like where people work, what types of educations they have, what types of jobs that they work at, and then specific pain points or life events. Have they purchased a home? Have they purchased a car? Right? Reasons that they need to talk, because the average person doesn't just want or need to talk to an insurance agent just for no reason. And the only reasons that they will is because something has happened, either a claim or the rates have gone up, whatever. Right? And so we really have to look hard at those triggers and what types of triggers are we focusing in on in order to get you the right kind of lead. Because if you're just focusing on a price trigger, then you're going to end up having a price conversation. You're not going to convert that lead. All right. So hopefully this was helpful for you to kind of understand the industry and understand the numbers. If you guys want the data and the reports to kind of see this and put it all together. I was hoping to screen share with you, but I guess that's an option I have to pick whenever I first start. But guys, this stuff is really, really important. And you got to understand that the cost of traffic has gone up 176% over the last 12 months. And it's only going to get more expensive. It's only going to get more expensive. And the problem is most of you don't know the right questions to ask about to your marketing agencies, to the people that you're getting leads from. You're just buying leads. You have no idea what they're doing to get the leads. You have no idea where they're marketing, no idea what filters they're using. Guys, this is why your AWeber, your quote wizards, your hometown quotes, whatever, wherever you buy these leads from, they're not effective. They don't close. Why? Because they're not targeted. You have to understand and have a close working relationship with whoever's generating the leads for you, and understand what they're doing. Understand their conversion numbers, so that you can have an expectation. We give you these numbers and we say, okay, in your market, we've done this thousands of times. We know, here's our expectations. Here's our benchmarks. With that same campaign, guys, we've got a customized form that I'm going to see if I can screenshot it here. We've created because we've done this so many times, we've actually created a formula calculator, and it tells us exactly what's going to happen with this campaign. It's going to tell us how many leads we're going to get. And I'm going to show it. I'm going to put it here in the thread, and I'm going to show you those exact numbers that I just gave you. I've got what we call our formula calculator sheet. And I'm going to put it here in the comments. But it tells me that out of this campaign, agent has generated 4 sales, $2,400 of commission. Okay, his return on investment right now is 2,785%. $24 commission on $86 ad spend. All right. It also tells me I know what his cost basis is currently, obviously, but I also know what his future performance is going to be. And this is what gets really, really powerful that very few people know. The only reason, this is something that I've developed myself by looking at ads over and over and over again. I know that there's another 1,300 people left in this audience that we've developed for him that are going to see this ad. Based on my ad click and site click conversion, I know that he's going to get another 191 ad clicks, because I know the ad click to site click to conversion. He's going to get another 91 leads to his landing page, 91 clicks to his landing page, and I know that he's going, based on our 17% conversion rate on the landing page traffic, he's going to get 18 more leads. I know that he's going to get 18 more leads. So then I can say, hey, Mr. Client, it's costing us $5 to $6 a lead. You got 18 more leads. How quickly do you want to get these leads? Because after 18, we're going to have to move, and we're going to have to refine this audience. We're going to have to go somewhere else. But I know with precision exactly what's going to happen with this ad. And then I also know, based on his conversion rate, we know how much he's going to make. We know if he continues to convert at this rate, what his ROI is going to be. I don't know how many other places you can go and say, hey, now that I've been running this ad for 2 weeks, how many more leads are we going to get? I don't know. Nobody's going to be able to tell you that. But the reason we know this is because we sit here and we spend hours and hours and hours analyzing data, running it through performance calculators, running hypotheticals. We even have a calculator that tells us, hey, if our click-through rate goes to this, our site click rate is this, our lead conversion rate is this, what's that going to do to our cost per lead? Where do we need to make the adjustments in our funnels? This is all stuff that we go through with our clients and we teach you guys in our programs, but it's stuff that you didn't used to have to do 2 years ago. 2 years ago, you could slap up an ad, get some leads. You can't do it anymore. Before you invest in Facebook ads, before you hire somebody to run ad campaigns for you, you have to understand this stuff. We're going to continue to teach you guys more and more, feed you more information in this group. I appreciate you being part of this group. I've got a questionnaire that you can have. Just drop your email in here. We can send you the reports that we've talked about here on this video, and I can send you 10 questions that you need to ask anybody that you're going to buy leads from. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's a big aggregator or if it's a small marketing firm or a digital marketing agency or whatever. 10 questions that you need to ask them. The problem is that most of you don't know the right questions to ask, so you end up hiring somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. You end up wasting money, bad taste in your mouth, and you can't afford to keep wasting money. You cannot do it. You won't survive. you won't survive. Anyway, hopefully that helps you guys. If you need anything, just holler at me.